I opened the Harvard acceptance letter and it was just pure joy. If I didn't have the support of SchoolHouse Connection, I would have been very lost. Being low income is already very hard in a prestigious Ivy League school, but then also struggling with housing insecurity is much harder. And it's good to have someone on the other side who kind of knows all the macro and micro issues that have solutions to them or can provide another insight. As an 18-year-old, I don't have that much insight. I don't know who makes the laws. I don't know what the laws are. It was very empowering to be part of an organization that not only gave me funds to access education, but also gave me resources to advocate for myself. I think that youth voices, especially those experiencing homelessness, are very important. Giving me that sense of agency to be able to advocate for myself and know my rights was very, very impactful to me in my first year in college, and I thank YLS for that. I'm a 2024 SchoolHouse Connection Scholar. I'm currently pursuing a bachelor's in neuroscience at Harvard University. My upbringing fostered an environment in which education was always the answer. Not completing school was never really an option for me. Was it hard? Yes. Did I think, oh, like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this? Maybe, but I always knew in the back of my mind that I had to finish school regardless. There was no other choice for me. That's what my parents wanted for me and also what I wanted for myself. I knew I had to do it. Education was something that was very important in my family and my culture. I tried really hard in school and I was able to get into a very good school because of that. My K through 12 experience has been very challenging. I moved from North Carolina to Illinois from 5th to 6th grade, and so I was staying with my uncle. I took the school bus to and from school. The situation was very tense, and at some point we got kicked out. We were couch surfing. We started living in my mom's Nissan Versa, and so that was pretty much my home for the majority of middle school. She would do Uber Eats during the day, and then we'd go to like a Walmart parking lot and we'd sleep there, and then in the morning we'd wake up early so we could go to the bathroom, freshen up. That was pretty much what my mornings looked like. Not a good place for any kid to be in. Something that I struggled with. You need Wi-Fi to do homework. And so half the time if I'm in the car, there's no Wi-Fi to do any homework. After school, I would go to the library to wait for my mom for like hours, do my homework. And then if it was like a weekend situation, she'd drive around, and then at the end of the night, before we go to the shelter or before we find a parking lot, I go to the library and do my homework. There's just like a lot of uncertainty and a lot of issues just moving around. It could be like I'm on the complete other side of Illinois and we have to drive an hour 30 just for me to make it to class. And I always made it to class. That really strengthened how important I value education. But it was very hard. I did very well in school. A lot of stressors and other things were going on outside of school. Having a teacher to tell me like, you're doing great, we're proud of you, that was very helpful. That wasn't a secret what I was going through. Me being that high achieving student, I may have purposefully hid things or not necessarily like been explicit in what I needed to succeed or what was going on. The information that my teachers did have access to, they made the most out of it, gave me resources, have those one-on-ones with students to really know what's going on. School is definitely about like education and going like to the next level, but I also think there's a very important emotional aspect. We need to have like a multifaceted lens of how to take care of our students. College ed process is very difficult, especially as a low-income student. You don't have the resources for SAT prep. The scholarship search was also pretty difficult too. There wasn't really much guidance from my school, but I was kind of just looking like, okay, like homeless scholarship. Let's see like what comes up. And then the SchoolHouse Connection Scholarship form showed up. I got a call like in, I don't know, January, February. It's really been great like ever since. If I didn't have the support of SchoolHouse Connection, one of my mentors, Rashonda, during just college as a whole, I would have been very lost. We have like the group of scholars. When we do all come together, I think that there's a shared level of understanding. I know that they understand me because they went through, if not the same, similar things. And that's really fostered a great sense of community. It may seem very little, just like gestures or things said, but teachers truly do have a big impact. Kids do remember everything, and I still remember just the care that my 7th grade ELA teacher had when she found out I was homeless and she was genuinely concerned. I felt very seen in that moment. I still experience very raw emotions when I think about that. I will never forget the way she saw me as a person. I'm very thankful for all the teachers out there and what they do. Elementary school me, middle school me, high school me, who was dreaming of doing certain things. I would say they'd definitely be very proud of where I am.